Let's continue with addition and subtraction of algebraic fractions. Simplify this expression and assume all denominators are non-zero. So when simplifying such expressions, we have to consider the denominators separately. Like we have the denominator which is x minus 1 and denominator x. So the LCD, the lowest common denominator, will be x times x minus 1. So it means we must use our equivalent fractions and our fractions must have this denominator. Let's look at the first fraction, which is x plus 3 divided by x minus 1. So we have to multiply this fraction by x so that the denominator is x times x minus 1. If we multiply the denominator by x, we must multiply the numerator by x. The second fraction, which is 3x plus 2 over x. So we must multiply the denominator by x minus 1. And therefore, we must also multiply the numerator by x minus 1. So now we have the same denominators. We can subtract the numerators. So it's going to be x times x plus 3 minus 3x plus 2 times x minus 1. All this over our LCD, which is x times x minus 1. Now we have to be careful, especially with this negative here. So it multiplies this. So the best thing will be to do this. You say x, this is x squared. If you distribute x, then plus 3x plus 3x. And then here, let's put this in the square bracket. And then we FOIL this. We distribute here. We remove these brackets. So we say 3x times x, which is 3x squared. You see the minus is still outside the bracket. This minus is still outside the bracket. And then 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. Then 2 times x is positive 2x. And 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 over x times x minus 1. Now we can even simplify. These are like terms. We can simplify this part. So we have x squared plus 3x minus 3x squared minus x minus 2. All this over x times x minus 1. Now we can distribute this negative 1. Then it becomes x squared plus 3x minus 3x squared plus x plus 2 over x times x minus 1. Then is equal to, let's deal with like terms, x squared minus 3x squared, that is negative 2x squared, positive 3x plus x, that is plus 4x, and then plus 2. All this over x times x minus 1. Right, let's do the second one. We have to be careful here. We have to factorize m squared minus 1. That's difference of two squares. So this becomes m plus 1, m minus 1, or m minus 1 times m plus 1, like this, using difference of two squares. Now, we have to consider the brackets separately. We have m minus 1, then we have m plus 1, but here we have m minus 1 squared. So what is the LCM? So m minus 1 and m minus 1 squared, the lowest common multiple will be m minus 1 squared. And then for m plus 1, we have m plus 1 here. So the LCM will be m plus 1 times m minus 1 squared. So LCD is equal to m minus 1 squared times m plus 1. We have to make sure that both fractions have this denominator. So the first one will be 3, then m minus 1 times m plus 1. Then we have to say times m minus 1, so that we get m minus 1 squared. Then also we multiply the numerator by m minus 1. Then the second fraction, 2, then m minus 1 squared. So we need m plus 1, so we multiply the numerator by m plus 1, and then also the numerator by m plus 1. So what we have after that, we have 3m minus 1 minus 2m plus 1, all this over m minus 1 squared times m plus 1. Expand here, 3 times m, 3 times negative 1, so it's 3m minus 3. Then negative 2 times m is negative 2m. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. All this over m minus 1 squared and m plus 1. Then we have like terms here. 3m minus 2m, that is m, 1m. Then negative 3 minus 2, that's negative 5, over m minus 1 squared, then m plus 1.